Most ambitious men want to have high sustainable energy all day long so they can get the things they want done and get to their goals faster, whether that's in their business, in their career, in training, in sport, whatever it is, right? We all want more sustainable energy. Yet at the same time, most of these people don't have that. They don't have sustainable high energy. They spike, they crash, they have good days, they have bad days, and they just, go about it with a strong mindset and say, you know what, whatever, who cares? Discipline, willpower, that's what matters more. And if this is you, you have inconsistent days. You wake up tired, you probably go to sleep pretty wired, you can't really sleep properly. You rely on caffeine, you feel sharp sometimes, foggy other days, and you're not sure what's really causing it. And you tend to just push through because you have a strong mindset, as I said. You push through on willpower. But if you had the understanding of what can give you the high energy and the strong mindset, that is what will give you sustainable high energy and the best results, right? But the first step is understanding that it's not normal to have these inconsistent, energy crashes. I mean, it's normal because you might be, you would be making certain mistakes, but you shouldn't accept it. As a person, if you're watching this video, you're someone who wants more for yourself. And I'm telling you, everything is cause and effect. And so when you can truly optimize certain things, you will have much more consistent, sustainable, high energy. So why should you listen to me? Well, I've been living and teaching health optimization since 2019 and working with some people who are earning up to 7 figures per month, high level entrepreneurs. Some people are just athletes, just not all the way down to 9 to 5 workers who are just pretty burnt out, but overall ambitious people who want to develop their careers, right? And pretty much all of these people, if they could snap their finger, would want sustainable high energy because they understand energy is the currency to life. It's what helps you get things done more efficiently, right? Most of these people still make a lot of mistakes. Despite doing some things right, they get where they are because of a really strong mindset and pure determination. But there's a whole other side of it that's actually holding them down by not giving them sustainable high energy, and they're pretty much shooting themselves in the foot. And so in this video, I'm going to explain to you all the things you need to do to optimize your energy through the lens of health. This channel is about optimizing your health through science-backed systems and real data, not guesswork, right? And so I understand there's mindset, there's spirituality involved with energy. There's a bunch of things that impact energy, but I'm going to focus on the health foundation because you can have the best mindset and be spiritually aligned no matter what, right? But if your health is not on a strong foundation, you're not going to last, especially in the long term. You're going to have some serious issues, but you need to have this area covered. Then you can go work on your mindset and read your books and watch Tony Robbins or whatever you might normally do, right? And so yeah, through this video, you're going to understand how to actually sustain energy through optimizing your health. And so the biggest mistake I see a lot of people making is they try and chase energy. They try and do more things. They try and add more things to their plate, working out more, training harder, taking more supplements, different supplements, more things in their morning and night routine. And ultimately, they just take advice that they've heard online from all these marketing campaign pushes, like, when ice baths were really popular. And, every 6 months, there's a new micronutrient that's like, the biggest cure. There's a new ingredient, this year it's avocado, next year it's going to be pomegranates. Who knows what they're going to promote? And so we always get these shiny object, impulses. We try random things, right? And we also hear things from our family and our friends, and we just fall for it. We just fall for it without addressing the real cause, which is pretty much analyzing, getting real data, and understanding what's actually holding your energy back through your health, and then building a personalized plan based upon that. And so instead of relying on more supplements, more caffeine, and just waiting for more motivation to strike, you need to fix the foundation of your health. So energy isn't created just from effort. Sometimes it is when you're in a winning season and you do more things, you get more energy. But when you neglect certain inputs, no matter how you feel, if you neglect certain inputs, you're going to crash and burn out, and your health is not really too forgiving. When you do the wrong things, you're going to pay the price, right? So if your inputs are unstable, in relation to your health, your energy will be too. So you need a system that is just automatic and that you don't really need to think about what you need to do. You know what you need and you have a system, it becomes automatic and you can go about your life and focus on your career, focus on your business, focus on your work, whatever it is, right? And so what actually drives energy through health is your recovery, right? How well are you recovering in terms of your heart rate variability, your resting heart rate? If we look at your sleep performance, how much time are you spending in REM sleep and deep sleep? How much time are you actually awake? How long does it take you to fall asleep? How do you feel upon wake up? How do you feel before you go to sleep? In relation to your circadian rhythm. Relating to stress, it's not about lowering your stress and taking on less responsibilities. When you're truly optimized with your health, you can take on so much more stress. But because your health is optimized, your stress tolerance is so much better. And not only that, you're able to manage it a lot better. Other things like your nervous system regulation, understanding when to be in fight and flight, and when to be in rest and digest. And not having a proper balance is what ruins your recovery and gives you all that brain fog and pretty much cooks you out. And that's what happens to most of you ambitious people. You push, 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 then you burn out, right? Also, blood sugar crashes, not understanding how glucose works in your body in relation to your movement and the foods you're pairing it with. This will massively, cause issues. And I don't have time to get into everything. I've got guides on my channel that go into how to optimize your sleep, how to eat properly, that kind of thing. I just want you to understand the mindset towards optimizing your health and improving your energy levels, right? And basically why your energy is fluctuating because of all those areas I just mentioned. If they're not dialed in, there's cause and effects happening and you're blaming your mindset most likely, when in reality it could just be relating to your health. And so I can relate to this. The time I was the most ambitious, the most, honestly, more disciplined than I was now, I was definitely pushing through so much willpower and all that kind of things. My energy was the most inconsistent. At the time I was wanting to be a good fighter. I was competing as well. I was working a 9 to 5 job, alternating shift as well. I was, learning about business while building a business. I wanted to read books. I was doing all these things at the same time, right? And my energy was always unstable. I woke up without morning wood. I woke up without proper energy. But my discipline and drive was pushing me so far. So I still got things done, but it was miserable. It was annoying. It was frustrating. Always asking myself, okay, why am I tired today? Why can't I be less tired? Why can't I just be more consistent so I can perform better? Because I was obsessed with just performing better. That anytime I got brain fog and low energy and lapses of motivation, I wanted to figure out the cause, which is what led me to being such a biohacking nerd, right? Because initially I did it to, restore and optimize my health. And then I became a bit of a nerd, right? And I just wanted to take it as far as possible, right? And so after a few years of me just doing all the trial and error and pretty much all the things I just mentioned, like what you might be doing, following random health advice, trying to tie things together and figure out how to get sustainable energy. After some time, all that trial and error, I decided, okay, well, logically, I got this idea. I need to actually test my body. Like I need to get real science-backed data and follow real science-backed systems to actually follow it and restore and optimize my health. And it was a very obvious moment, but until I actually did it, I was like, oh, well, fuck, there's my answer. What I learned was that health isn't mysterious and confusing, right? It's only mysterious and confusing if you get pulled in different directions with marketing and what people say and all this stuff, and when you don't truly understand how your body works. But yeah, like once you get real testing and you have a real system, you can understand the things you need to do to optimize your energy. Figure out the things that are actually draining your energy every single day, and then you can optimize it. For me, it was, largely it was relating to ADHD, which, has a big effect on your motivation, your focus ability. But also my gut health was terrible. I was sleeping really bad because I had my nose broken in MMA. And, I did a sleep study, I did a gut health test, I tested my testosterone, and that data made me figure out, oh, cool, so how do I fix that? And then I figured out the things I needed to do, and I created a personalized system for me that actually works with my lifestyle and my demands, my schedule, all that kind of stuff, right? And once I actually use that data and follow that system, like health became so much more easy. It was way less confusing. I was way less overwhelmed. I was way less, I just stopped falling for all these marketing trends of, oh, this new pill, this fruit is going to fix your life, this supplement that, ice baths are amazing. I can just be like, oh, whatever. I know that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. And I'm able to focus on the things that actually do matter for me in my life, not what works for some other guy on the internet that you found. So after figuring out that system, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but when you do have sustainable high energy and you understand your system and what works with you, then like you don't need hype, you don't need motivation, you don't need to rely on caffeine and nicotine like most people in the online space do. And you have a system that delivers the results predictably. You know how to eat, how to sleep, how to train, when to do it, what to do if things go wrong. It holds up when your life gets chaotic, when there's a lot of pressure, and it doesn't require a lot of willpower. It just happens automatically. I already know what I'm doing. Health isn't even a thing. Health and performance and energy isn't really a thing I worry about too much. It still happens sometimes. I'm human. I have energy crashes sometimes. Sometimes I'm completely aware that it's going to happen. Sometimes I'm like, oh, why did that happen? And I figure it out later, right? But health stops becoming this thing that's like weird and like hard to understand, and it just becomes automatic. And so when your energy is stable, you just feel calmer, you feel sharper, you just can do more. Like you just literally have more energy in the day. If you think about, if you normally have this much energy, then you're going to have that much energy. So what are you going to do with all that energy, right? You're going to be most likely pretty productive with it in whatever way, right? Those times I spent all that energy going around dating in Bangkok, Thailand. Those times I spent all that energy training. Those times I spent all that energy just on business. I was still exercising, obviously, but I wasn't, I wasn't trying to be the best fighter in the world. And so it just becomes a part of who you are. You just become a high energy person, right? And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, your mindset matters. You have to be spiritually aligned, right? That kind of thing does matter. I do believe in it. But when that is semi-aligned, your health is what is the real foundation. And so if you don't actually get real data and figure out what your body actually needs, and you don't build a system for you, then you're just going to keep, tying random things together, hoping that, this next supplement's going to work when it won't. And you're going to keep getting all these spikes and crashes and new excitement over a new trend, and probably keep relying on nicotine and caffeine. And the issues you're facing, I must remind you, isn't because you're weak or undisciplined or unambitious. I know if you're watching this channel, you have strong goals, you believe in yourself, you're chasing after something. That's why you clicked on this video, because you want to improve your energy levels. And it's not because of your mindset, guys. It's just because you don't have a system for your health to keep you dialed in. And so just remember one thing: your energy is built, not forced through random habits, right? So when you figure out the things you actually need to do through testing, then you will be able to have a sustainable output. But yeah, leave a like, sub, and comment. If you want my help, building out this whole protocol for you one-to-one, then check the top link in the description. Besides that, ciao.